This is a terrible segue, a horrible segue,
But
but you mentioned Freemason 3 times. I didn't grab it, but elaborate on your thoughts on Freemasonry.
Well, there's a lot to learn on my end. I haven't looked very deep into them, though I will soon with that 5-hour video I need to watch by that X Factor winner.
Yeah.
But what I do understand is that these Freemasons currently run the world, and many of them have exposed themselves in leadership positions, like Daniel Andrews, Scott Morrison. They do this secret handshake that these Freemasons do. And they do poses where, let's say, the one eye with this like this as well. They do poses where they might have a suit on and then they hide like half of their hand. I forgot the name of it, but
one finger out and like that. Yeah.
There are many Freemasons in positions of power, and they swear an oath to ensure that the Freemasons' secrets are kept in, and that they don't tell people about what they do behind the scenes, even rituals. And they're basically in it for themselves, these connected people on that level. So what I understand about Freemasons is that these people, whether I know they would come down through family as well. They have infiltrated the world in many positions of power on a global scale, and they are doing things in the best interest of themselves. And people need to wake up to the fact that there are organizations like this that are running. If you look around in Melbourne, and I'm sure in Sydney as well, and other states, in almost, and I would go as far as saying in every suburb in Melbourne, there is a Freemason building, lodge. Where did they get this money from? Who are they connected to? And these are the questions you need to ask yourselves. There's a huge Freemason lodge building. It's massive near my house in Melbourne. And they have their logo, like the compass, and I think it's like the ruler or whatever with the G in the middle, and it's just lit up all the time. So I need to find out more about them. I know they do rituals. They're very connected, though there's something people need to be looking into at the moment.
Never any windows. Just take note. Next time you go past a Masonic temple or a Freemason institution, just check out if you can see any windows.
No, there's definitely windows. Sydney ones. Sydney ones. There is a couple that don't. They look like brick thing. Like there's an Egyptian one in Petersham, and that thing is just like a fucking block that's just placed there. 100%.
There's one in Town Hall, which is just a huge building.
I have a Freemason is such a I had a massive discussion with Peace Fabrications, Stephen, and Akashic Daddy, which is Jay. And we had a big Freemason conversation. Like, Freemason it's a weird one for me. I'm still trying to work it out, because what I see right now is it seems like a globalist agenda, right? That's what they're like pushing for. And they're pushing to deteriorate groups and deteriorate any people that are gathering together or creating a group. Freemason's the longest reigning secret society, like what's called fraternity in existence. And they're having issues at the moment as well. So I've got my sister's granddad, sister's granddad in Perth. He runs a lodge there. And he's like, when I first was looking at like going into Freemasonry when I was like early 20s, he was like, don't join until you're 30. And then I was like, I heard there's this like satanic stuff and all of this stuff. Then he's like, shows me his like medal and his like things and that. And he's like, would I be involved in that type of thing? Well, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You might be. Like, I have no idea. But then I feel like they're also a dying breed because you're right. They used to be where. So I've been to dinners. Have you pull up the Freemason George Street, Freemason building in George Street?
That's the one.
It's the biggest one in Australia. And I've gone to a couple of dinners there. And the history of Freemason, they had families, and then how you'd become a Freemason is you either come through your family or you have to save a Mason's life, and then you become a Freemason. There's like the one thing that I do appreciate from them is that, let's say you're Jewish and I'm Muslim, right? And let's say let's say you're Jewish, I'm Jewish, and Neil is Muslim. All right? Is that a stereotype for you, mate? Is it? We're all ethnics here. Yeah, that building there. It's awesome design. It's weird. It goes like that, and somehow it stays up. But yeah, I did a whole tour there. I took the missus, and James was nice enough to like just me and the missus, and he took us inside everywhere and told us all about it and everything else. I'm not a Mason, but I've gone in, I've looked, and right now they're having issues with memberships. So when you're there and you're inside, they're saying themselves that we can't get new members in. So they're trying to find every way to recruit new people, because back in the day, they were able to use the whole satanic thing to deter people because they didn't want anyone in, because they wanted to keep everything. Now they're like, all right, we're a dying breed. We need more people. So now they've opened their doors and are trying to get more people. That's why you see them like, all right, now you can say whatever secrets. There's just certain things that you can't say. And the one good thing about like the whole thing is, say you've got a company. I'm Jewish, you're Jewish. Usually you'd hire me if we both came to for the job interview. But if Neil's a Mason and you're a Mason, it goes above the religion and it goes into the brotherhood, and you have to hire him.
Yep.
I understand how that can also be problematic in the sense that whatever the ideology is, that gets pushed through in a much larger sense. But I feel like if there's anything, like, I don't know, like at the top level, at the 32 level, there could be some deadly shit. There could be some disgusting shit. And at the lower level that I've seen, there's nothing there. So it could be something of that. But I feel like this whole entire global situation, that's not even the essential values of Freemasonry. You know what I mean? It's not everybody sort of come here. If anything, what I guess would be that the whole Q situation might be a Mason situation, because only something at that level with that much power could go against something that big. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
I think all you've got to look at is the oath that they swear. Like that person that was a Freemason that you said you spoke to. Yeah. They said, do I look like I do that? But they're not allowed to say what they do or anything because they've sworn the oath. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how close you are to them. They swear that oath that information can't get out there. And sometimes it does when people do leave and then they put their lives in danger. And I know the oath, it talks about like if you break it, they literally will rip your tongue out of your mouth, and there's other bad things that they'll do. And that's in the oath that you swear that if you do speak out against them, and then they'll throw your dead body on the rough seas, like the rough sand of the seas.
Do you know why they say that?
No.
They say because your word is your highest honor.
Yeah.
And if you break your word, you're no longer like a a human, a good human for society.
Yes, they see you. Yes, there was a couple words in there. I forgot the words, but they basically say you're the worst possible like human in a way.
Yeah. Because you break your word. It's not necessarily that the secret got out. It's more that the word that you said, you've broken it. And to an extent, like, I'd say everyone who has their word, like, to an extent, I agree with it. To that extent, I don't. To the whole killing and everything like that. Like, it sounds a bit much, but it's also tradition. And also back then, those are the words that were spoken. You know what I mean? It's not so much these days. To me, I think they're a dying breed, dude. Like, you see most Masonic centers these days, they're either like, you can buy one right now in New South Wales, 123 grand, and you can buy the block of land a bit far out of New South Wales or rural New South Wales. But then again, I don't know. And then again, I've also seen that. And when because Steve fucking hates them. Like, Steve thinks they're the most demonic, like, organization in the world. He thinks that, like, once you're like level 33, they get kids and that's their gift and it gets out of hand for me. But
I wouldn't say they're dying breed if they still have like the all-seeing eye on the dollar bill of the US note.
Do you reckon that's Masons though?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, every president, apart from a few, have been a Mason.
I
That's
think,
true.
I'm pretty sure they are. Well, artists that do speak out against it, they link them together. Yeah. And that they don't get into the Freemason club if they don't say their oaths and all that. Yeah, I think they're very directly linked.
Bro, next time you're in Sydney, this is what we're going to do, right? I'm going to call up.
No, thank you.
that center right there, and we're going to get cameras, right? And I'm going to see if I can get a camera in there. We're going to do a private tour. Me and you, we're going to go to every temple in there. We're going to let him speak what he's going to speak. And then after it, we'll have a debrief discussion on what we thought. How about that?
Nah, but you got to hear it from the people that have spoken out who were once in it. Who say
well, we got to hear both sides.
It's like a secret society.
Yeah. Like, what's he going to tell you?
You know, it's like those people that do like, what's the word now? Money laundering.
Yes.
You can go into the shop front. It looks all good and everything looks all fine.
Can I be back in 1 second?
Yeah. No problem. Yeah, you can sit here if you like.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I didn't come to be on video. I didn't do my hair today. No, that's all right. Yeah, you can walk into the shop. It looks all well and good, but there's things happening behind the counter. Of course, it's not going to be all out in the open.
That's true.
It's the same with anything. It's not just them in particular. So I think that's to be considered, as well as the oath. If you swear an oath to something, well, you're serving that. You got to remember that too. It's kind of like marriage, for example. If you think of it in that way, you're putting commitment to another person. So you're serving them in a sense. You're serving that relationship. So you're not supposed to, deviate from that.
Yes.
So you can kind of look at it in the same way of Freemasonry, where you swear an oath to something. So you have to serve that. So you can't serve anything beyond whatever it is within their oath that they're telling you that you have to be part of, which could be something the same for any other type of organization.
That's like, I agree with that, and I understand the oath as well, and I understand what you're saying, and I understand there's closed door shenanigans that happens there for sure, because they have rituals. Anything with rituals, the rituals only increase as you go up your, what are they called? Degrees. Yeah. So, but you still got to speak to them. You still got to
I so agree. I don't think that they're all bad.
Yeah.
Because like you said, there are degrees. So it's not that everyone is doing the same thing as everybody else. Like I said, there's so much behind closed doors. So, and if everybody knew what was going on, well, then that secrecy would be hard to keep it under wraps. So it's not to say that they're just condemned. We just condemn them. But to be wary. and just have the understanding.
True. And I do want to speak to someone from that side. There's someone that's been in there, has seen some shit, and is like, you know what? Nah. Like, that'll be good too. I think both sides to be taken into account. But I think it'll be good content if me and you had a tour, went in there, and then came out and was like, motherfucker, did you see that point where like this motherfucker said that? Like he was full of shit then.
Yeah. Have you been in something at that great hall?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There's only one actually. They have 4, I'd say, temples in there. There's one that you can't go in.
Why not?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Then we'll ask him right there. Put him on the spot. Put him on camera.
Take us there. No, I wouldn't even want to be taken there. You ain't come out of there.
You go there. There's just fucking goats hanging upside down and shit. Like
get down an elevator, bloody. Oh, that reminds me. In the Donkey Kong. No, not Donkey Kong. King Kong and Godzilla movie.
Bro, I was gonna say I love Donkey Kong. What do you mean?
In that movie. So there's like a conspiracy theorist guy. And he was like with another 2 kids because they're trying to work out where this special thing is that, I don't know, whatever, with to do with Godzilla. And then they're at an elevator and the kids ask him, they go, oh, where's this elevator lead to? And then he goes, oh, it leads to hell. And then it goes down exactly 33 levels. So like 30, like, yeah, because they put this in the movies as well.
Yeah. And we talked about that with...
Yeah, so we're going down the hill.
Yeah, there's that we spoke about that with the net where the law of the universe, and you have to say something first before it happens and occurs. Something will
spiritual law is you have to see, you have to say what it is.
Yeah.
You can't keep it secret. So that's why a lot of the time they'll tell you things.
Yeah.
Like the event 201 simulation, like you were discussing earlier.
Yeah.
They have to tell you, it's like the symbolism in all of the music videos.
Yeah.
They have to tell you because it's kind of consensual in a way.
Yeah, and a silence is consent
That's
apparently.
where it comes from.